Are you facing a storm right now? I mean, a challenge that just seems so overwhelming you just don't really know what to do. I got a gem in the Bible that I'm pretty sure you missed. Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41 essentially tells the story of the disciples getting in the boat with Jesus, and they're all going to cross over the Sea of Galilee. And I'm pretty sure you know what happens next. Essentially, Jesus is asleep on the boat. The disciples wake him up, and they're like, "Hey, look, do you not care that we are about to perish?" As Jesus waking up, like, what are y'all messing with me for? So at this point, the boat's rocking, it's shaking, the disciples are freaking out, and they're like, "Jesus, like, literally wake up, we're about to drown." And don't miss this point. These are fishermen, professional fishermen. That's what they did, right? So for them to be freaking out like this lets you know that this wasn't just any normal storm. So Jesus then wakes up, he kind of looks at them like, "Really, y'all?" And he says to the storm, "Quiet, be still." Some translations say, "Peace, be still." But Jesus literally talks to the storm and says, "Quiet," and everything was calm. And then the next verse, Jesus pretty much says, like, "Why are you so afraid? Ye have little faith." Now, this is a gem that I think we all missed. Pay attention to this. The disciples were terrified at this point because they literally looked around at each other, and the verse says that they said, "Who is this that even the waves and the wind obey him?" Y'all, this is good. The gem is that no matter what storm you are in, God wants you to focus on him. Fear him, not the storm. Like the disciples were fearing the one thing that God has domain over. So anytime you guys go into storms, you keep your eyes on Jesus and you fear God. You fear the fact that, like, what if I am not obedient in this storm? What if I don't do what God is trying to get me to see or learn from this moment in my life? What if I don't? God says fear him. Don't fear the circumstance, y'all, because God has domain and dominion over all circumstances. And see, when I read this the first time, I missed it. I was like, okay, yeah, like I would be like, "Ooh, wow, Jesus did a lot of signs and wonders." But then I started to think about this, like so often we are focusing on the circumstance of our now. We focus on the things around us. And God is saying, you focus on me. If you're gonna fear anything, fear me. Like, we must have fear, not in scared, but in reverence of who we serve, how great and powerful God is, that he can literally look at a storm and say, "Peace, be still," and it must be still. Because the truth of the matter is, they shouldn't even have been awake anyway. Because the first thing, like, this is what we got to focus on. What does Jesus actually say? What is he trying to tell us? The first thing he said is let's get in the boat and that we're going to go to the other side. So if Jesus himself says, let's get in the boat, and then he goes and curls up and sleep, he probably just wanted to get rocked to sleep that night. Not actually, he was actually testing his disciples. Everything we do is a test, y'all. You cannot operate in fear and faith at the same time. Like, you have to understand that fear is false evidence appearing real. F-E-A-R. It's false evidence appearing real. Fear, it's not real, y'all. So stop focusing on it. Jesus literally said, we're going to get in the boat. We're going to go to the other side. So if that's the truth, how can you die if the Messiah's in the boat? How are you going to drown? Why are you freaking out when you have the Messiah, right? So we must also understand when we're in a storm, what did Jesus say? Focus on what he says, not what we see. That's why faith by sight. We don't, no. It's without sight. We focus on what we can't see. We focus on having real faith, y'all. So the truth is Jesus tells the disciples, hey, look, we're getting in the boat. We're going to the other side. They should have curled up next to him and they should have cuddled him and went on to sleep. They should have just got rocked to bed and they would have missed the storm if they would have listened to what he said. What happened was they were in the boat. They were awake in the storm, and then they start to focus on their mind and their hearts. Our mind and our hearts are deceitful, y'all. You cannot focus on your mind and your heart. And so the truth is as you guys go through storms, focus on what was the last thing God said to you, and you be obedient to that. He said, get in the boat, we're going to the other side. He didn't say get in the boat and we're going to drown and die. He didn't say get in the boat. No, he said get in the boat and we're going to go to the other side. And you do what he does. He went to sleep, you go to sleep. He prays and fasts, you pray and fast. You walk a Christian Christ-like life, you do those things. Like, it's so powerful. Because guess what? When Jesus woke up, he didn't go speak to man. He didn't go talk to the disciples. He talked to the circumstance. He went and said, storm, peace, be still. So God focuses on the circumstance, y'all. That's why we just have to have faith in him. He will do the rest. He will talk to our circumstances, y'all. We don't need to do that. We have to stop trying to be our own gods and trying to place fear over faith. That's all I got to say on it, y'all. I can talk on this story in Mark like 100 times. I can tell you 100 different ways about how God just wants us to focus on him. You can't have fear and faith at the same time. Trust in Jesus and what he said and do that. I love you guys. This is Eric Scott with the Lions Faith Podcast. I just want to share this. Double tap that screen for me, please. That gives me likes and shares, which gets this content out to more people in the TikTok algorithm world. I love you guys. Y'all stay blessed. Thank you.